Hey, what's up everybody? Brian with Happy Thumbs Gaming here, back with some more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Boy, we're getting pretty close to that home stretch of the free roam. That's right, the home free roam stretch. This is Coruscant Federal District, where we get 38 Kyber Bricks, 10 total characters, 3 ship tokens, and a data card too. Now, on those character tokens, it's a bit wonky. It appears as though there are 3 characters that can be unlocked throughout the story/free play, and sadly, we actually unlocked 3 of them. The good news is, there is a spot to buy 5 characters in this world, and 3 of those are the ones you can actually unlock. So, quick links down below, and if you've been following along, we just got done with old Mos Espa on Tatooine, and we are out of here. We're going to actually take off and head on over to Coruscant and check out the old Federal District. Now, you can see here we've got 3 of 10 already because we actually unlocked some of them during the story/free play. But again, it doesn't matter if you did or did not unlock them. You will have the opportunity to purchase them and unlock them for yourself, whether you did or didn't get them in the story/free play. All right, here we are. We've officially taken off and landed on Coruscant. Now, keep in mind, this is free roam, so we have edited out a lot of that travel time. And due to the fact that the characters can be upgraded and speed walk a little bit more than usual, we didn't have the need to speed up the video. So that's good for you guys. And here we are. We're going to go ahead and take on our first Kyber Brick. It's actually called Welcome to the Federal District. And it simply requires a character with the Grapple ability. In fact, as soon as you get off of the old ship landing pad there's actually a giant couple of statues. And on the far left side at the top, you're going to find the first Kyber Brick. All right, next up, another Kyber Brick. There's a lot of bricks in a row. We got a ship, and then we got a lot more Kyber Bricks, and then eventually we get to some of the character tokens and finish off with the ships as well. Data card is mixed in there. A lot of these are super easy, though, guys. And I would like to go ahead and point out that this area actually presented itself with a lot more editing points than normal. Some of them were user-based, some of them were game-based, and I'll cover more of that as we get to those. But make sure you take out the bushes and slide onto that bridge and collect number 2. All right, we're going to zigzag through this nice little foyer here. We're going to find ourselves the next Kyber Brick, which actually requires us to purchase it. What? There's been a few of these, too, and I don't necessarily consider these lazy, but, you know, the small amounts of studs they require don't seem like they're very beneficial to anybody. Although this one is one of the more expensive ones, 200,000. However, watch this. With our multiplier on, I think I smashed a couple of things in here, and it instantly gives me like 1 million. So definitely not worried about the money on this one. As you can see there, yep, we got over 1 million for that. But go ahead and pay the guy and get your Kyber Brick. That's right, pay the guy and get your Kyber Brick. All right, next up, open for business. Another Kyber Brick throughout this nice little mini mall area, huh? You might notice there's actually a door with a red lock on it. And off to the left side of that door is going to be a socket for a fuse. And inside the room, straight across the hallway from it, it's going to be a red laser beam wall protecting a fuse. Now, we just need to come in here and destroy, well, nothing. I got a little sidetracked. Full disclosure, I did the old scouting a couple of days before I got to the editing and recording, which is always kind of a bad idea for old man Brian Brain because I sort of forget things sometimes. But there it was. It was actually just up there. It's a grapple point. Just go ahead and get your zip-diddy-doo-dah on. And woo to the who. It should present that fuse for you. All right, we'll grab that fuse, take it across the hallway, slap it in the socket, and it should open the door and allow us access to go ahead and pick up that next Kyber Brick. Here we go. In we go, collecting them studs as we swoop in. You know, I wonder how everybody feels around here. Like, those studs have to belong to somebody. It's not like it's a wishing well where there's just a bunch of pennies in a pond and we walk by and slurp them all up. Like, this is, I feel like some of these studs are coming out of people's pockets. I don't know about you, but I would be a little leery about studs flying around, especially ones that didn't belong to me. All right, moving right along. We're going to go ahead and target a brick upstairs and around the corner. And we're going to follow the old waypoint marker. Now, there's probably a couple of bricks throughout this that I probably could have been a little more efficient in my routes or maybe zigging and zagging at the right times. But ultimately, you know, a lot of these are pretty much just in any order you want. All right, sorry about that if I seemed a little distracted. My dog was going nuts. Every time somebody goes walking by the house, or a squirrel comes by the window, or a cat goes in the neighbor's yard, my dog cannot handle himself. All right, this next one is called the High Up the Hyperlifts. And this one is a pain in the tuchus. However, we've got a nice cheeserini for you. It starts off with using an astromech over on the right side, where there's a panel here. And you got to solve this bad boy from the inside out. Once you get that done, it should give us access to the ladder, allowing us up to the second floor there. Now, I get a little confused in my plan again, as I already mentioned. I did the scout a couple days before, so I knew what I needed to do, except for I forgot about a step here. So we're going to go ahead and get both characters up on this first ledge here. And then what we're going to do is actually switch one of the characters to a character with the Force. And then we're going to switch the other character to a protocol droid or an astromech. The reason for this is that we can lift those guys up with the Force and move them around. Or you can also use a bounty hunter to go ahead and jump and jetpack across. Either way works for you. But we are going to return to that Force and bot or droid method here in a second. So go ahead and grapple your way all the way up top. We're going to step on this switch to give us kind of a safety net here. We're going to let this guy come all the way up. We're going to hop on it real quick and then jump and yeet across to get to the very almost top here. And then we're going to actually switch our character to another character. So we actually need the jetpack down here. So I got to play a quick game of musical characters again. So it's all sinking in here. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to switch characters. All right, so toggle back, go back to Django down low. Get your jump on, and of course, you could always pull out like Boba Fett or the Mandalorian or something. There's other characters that have jetpacks too, right? I think the Mandalorian has one. I should verify that before I start flapping my yep. But all right, we're all the way up. We're going to use our safety net again. Step on this switch. Let that come most of the way or all the way up. Jump on it. Give us a nice little extra spot there. And then we're going to toggle over to our Force and Droid combo again. Now watch this. Now we can just go ahead and lift this guy up. Now, some might say that this was more difficult than the original way, but they'd be lying to you. This is definitely way easier than stepping on the right switches in the back and forth. We've had a couple of those where we can just bypass all of the shenanigans and just get right to the biz, which is pretty good. Pretty good. All right, we got another one way up in the northwest corner. See, this is what I mean about some of the zigging and zagging. Some of these bricks are so scattered out from each other, and there's a little bit of, routes that are up and down, and sometimes the up and down route takes you all the way across the map before it actually takes you to where you're going. But in this particular case, that's not the problem here. However, like I was saying a minute ago, there's definitely some zigging when I should have zagged and back and forth. So not all of them line up perfectly. In a perfect world, we'd be able to start on like the top left corner and work our way all the way down and around. But as you guys know too, sometimes when you unlock or finish a mission, it unlocks another one, and it can't always be in the perfect clockwise rotation. At least I don't think it can. It'd be pretty sweet if it was, though. All right, we're going ahead and grappling all the way to the top. We gave BB-8 a little extra run here just because why not? Big rock, little brick. Done did. Now, this next one is kind of cheeky. Check this out. We're going to scroll on over to the far right side, or stroll on over, I guess. Roll, stroll, whatever. And you might notice down below there is a little ledge. And if you look on the map, there's actually like this little arm that goes out and around. So we're going to follow that and see where it takes us. Spoiler alert, I already know. We're actually heading for the data card, which is pretty simple. It's in a weird place. Most of these data cards are like right in your face, and all you got to do is like jump or grapple up to it. A couple of them have been a little bit more, I don't know, hidden, I guess you could say. I don't know if this one's really hidden, but definitely not as obvious as the rest. And I'm just taking out everything in my path, trying to get as many studs as possible. As you can see, we're still not to that 10 billion yet. So we're getting pretty close to the end. So I thought it was going to come a lot more naturally, but so far, not quite. All right, so we got that data card. Pretty simple stuff. Now we're going to double back and actually find ourselves unlocking a Kyber Brick, which also required us to be down low. So it's kind of a double whammy. Sometimes when I zigged, I should have zagged. But in this case, I zagged when I should have zagged. So I did it right. Sounded funny? I don't know. Boo. Oh, all right. I'll slow it down. Next up, Shop Invasion. All right, there's a couple of spots from the upper area that actually, they're like grates. And if you stand on them, they break and they actually drop you down here. I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick heads up of where they are once we tag this brick here. But you might have noticed when we first tagged the brick in the northwest, that was the big rock, little brick, right? There wasn't these other collectibles showing on the map. So again, like sometimes it's a little bit harder to determine where the money pit is. All right, we've gone ahead and blasted the gold doors off, and it seemingly has stopped all of the electricity in there, but I don't trust it. I'm going to go ahead and use the character with the Force and flip that switch from a distance, and then we'll go ahead and build up the ladder. And sadly, I chose to go up with Vader, as I really actually needed my other character, Jango Fett. But we'll get to that in a second. This is another one of those classic moments, though, where the AI is not so I. That's right. The intelligence is not showing right now. Sadly, my character's still down here waiting for, I don't know what he's waiting for. I don't know if he's got like an Amazon package that's being forwarded to this address or what he's doing, but he needs to get his butt up here and come help us melt that gold, which we're officially here. Cool, cool, cool. Shoot the gold box and collect that Kyber Brick. Shop invasion is now done dead. All right, we got another Kyber Brick before heading into our first ship token. That's kind of exciting, huh? All right, this one's down on the left side or the west side, sort of right in front of the taxi, which later we actually have a pretty cool Crazy Taxi reference. I don't know if you guys are old enough to know the game Crazy Taxi, but yeah, 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 yeah. That was like the theme song every time you turned on the game or anytime you played. And it was a very popular arcade game that made it home. I do believe the Dreamcast was the first place it showed its face. And boy, I had one of those and played it an awful lot. I was terrible at it. It was one of those games that like I could never really beat, but I always came back for more. All right, here we are. Splish, splash. There's a giant pond here. We've got 4 switches that need to be pushed. We're going to use the help of the Force and a couple of boxes. We'll set those boxes on a couple switches, and then we've got 2 more left, so we just need to stand on each of them with our characters. Now, I thought that that switch might not be pressed, but look at that. It's a funny angle, but it works for me. Go ahead and step on the other 2 now, and it should go ahead and light up all the lights on the fountain and open the cage and give us the brick. Woo to the hoo. All right, I went the wrong way. Hopefully you didn't too. All right, okay, booyakashow. We've got 8 bricks done dead, and we're going to move on to our first ship token. All right, this next one is kind of tricky because if you have not been following along with the free roam, this door might not be open. In order to get it open, we're actually going to have to take out these couple of stormtroopers over here. Clone troopers, I do believe they are. And we're going to have to use a villain on that villain terminal and then send half of a protocol droid through here. And then flip that switch right there at the door to go ahead and open the door. So the protocol droid comes out the other half there. And, of course, we used that password terminal previously to get into another area. I don't know why I feel like it was Utapau. I feel like I'm probably wrong on that. Maybe it's Crate or something. But now, you might have noticed, too, that there is some red bars that sort of flash on the left side of the room. And I snuck a protocol droid in there and went ahead and accessed the terminal, which allowed me to take over the other protocol droid. And I just smashed his buddy that was in that room with him and took over the switch, which revealed another area, which we can now use an astromech. And this guy is going to go ahead and open up the ship token, which is the AA-9 freighter. Is that right? I feel like I messed that up. I feel like I'm going to have to come back and fix that. We'll find out in a hot second, though. Nope, it is right. All right. I don't know why. I feel like that was done like 3 levels ago. But protocol problems done. And we should get a quick AA-9 flash here any day now. I guess I didn't wait for it. I think it pops up right after this. Watch this. A quick little fling. There it is. AA-9 Freightliner. Ours. All right, next up, Kyber Brick number 9. This one's called the Tuning Fork. I don't know what the goal of this one is. I found it super easy, and I did this on my scouting run, too. I literally just pull out Jango with the jetpack, which I don't think my other character... I think my other character is BB-8 right now, isn't it? Yep, there he comes rolling in. All right, so we'll go ahead and I was waiting for... I thought it was Jango, but it's not. Switch on over to Jango, jump up on this jukebox, which then allows you to jump up on this weird ledge. And if you play your cards just right and jump out there, it should be pretty easy. Now, of course, you could use the Force on a protocol droid or an astromech and just lift him up just like we do all the time, but that works just the same with the jetpack. All right, this next one is kind of funny. Like, I totally was like, oh, no, where's this one? This is a weird spot. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally remember this one. You got to sneak under the stairs. So when I did my scouting run, the old waypoint marker threw me for a loop. It takes you to the side here, but then it doesn't show you. But for me, I went the wrong stinking way. I went on the wrong side of the stairs, so I made it worse. So I did remember where to go, but I just went to the wrong place. So we'll go ahead and swoop around to the other side of this stairwell, and we should find a blocking tree or a bush here. We'll go ahead and smack that around. Thank you very much. And we'll collect a few more studs. Around the corner we go. We actually find a couple of Hippa to the Hoppas. So we'll switch to somebody who's got a little bit better footing here. And Hippa to the Hoppa all the way, under the Toppa. The Brick who lived under the stairs. That's maybe the longest name of a Kyber Brick we've had yet. And here we go. We got another case of the A of Not So I don't know what he's doing over here. It almost seems to always be Django. Is it? I mean, you guys start paying attention. Jot some notes down. Is it always Django? I feel like it's always Django. Maybe it's just a Django thing. Maybe it's not an AI thing. Maybe it's a clone thing. I don't know. Anyways, moving along, we got this next one. This one's called Net Set. And this one actually wants us to use a couple of nets on the wall here, but watch this. If you play your cards right, you can look up and just grapple the grapple point and jump all the way up and make your way all the way down this ledge, which is going to give us number 11, also known as Net Set. Not sure. Some of these are kind of funny. Like I said, there's that unfair taxi mission later that's definitely a Crazy Taxi reference. And I was telling the wife, like, some of these are great. I absolutely love these. And she's like, oh, you catch all those? I don't get the music ones. Or, you know, like another brick on a wall, right? Like I was mentioning these kinds of things. She's like, I just wouldn't get any of that. And I was like, oh, I'm sure I'm missing tons, though. And I probably am. So if I happen to miss, like, some sort of wordplay or punny exchange in some of the, you know, dialogue or whatever, and I don't say anything, drop comments. Let me know. Educate me. I want to be caught up. I want to be smart. I want to be smart. I want to fit in with everybody, man. All right, Federal Firepower. So this waypoint marker is kind of confusing, too. It takes you sort of under an awning here and then stops. And if you look over to the left side, there is a ladder that we can climb up. It's a pretty tall ladder. But if we wrap around this ledge here, we actually find 4 targets. This is simple, but it's also, it needs you to be pretty accurate, and I'm pretty bad, so I almost messed that up. In fact, I had 0.3 or 0.4 left, so might take you a couple times, but should be fairly doable. We'll go ahead and walk in and collect our brick. All right, so 12 officially done did. We're moving right along. You know, this is a longie. Don't get me wrong. This isn't exactly a short session, but, you know, we move along pretty rapidly. Especially, I did have a couple hang-ups, like I mentioned, whether they were user errors or, you know, game dysfunctions, whichever you want to call it. Like right here, here's definitely a user error. I knew there was a grapple point, but I couldn't remember which end of this hallway the grapple point was. So I'm like, which way did it go? Which way did it go? But, you know, I edited a fair amount of stuff out when it wasn't needed. And even still, with all the edits and removing of the travel time, it's still like an hour and 25 minutes long, which is crazy to think about. But, you know, overall, our like gameplay is totaled like 50, 60, 70 hours. All right, there's the grapple point. It's all the way at the end on one of the sides. And, you know, speaking of user error and editing some stuff out, there is, actually it was an edit that I already took out. You probably didn't catch it, but it was actually right when I grappled up to the point, because I actually fell right there. There's that lip right there that's sort of deceiving. As you walk off that upper ledge, it drops you down, and it seems like you're just going to fall to the next ledge. That's another weird spot right there that I just jumped over. I have fallen more times than I'd like to admit in this, and I did have to make an edit for this. And I also fell a bunch of times on the PS4 scouting go. You know, if you want to save yourself some time and you're feeling pretty, I don't know, gutsy, you could go ahead and jump across. And look at that, you don't even need those planks. So it turns out I could have done it all on my own and not messed it up. Well, maybe not. I probably would have messed it up anyways. All right, next up, below deck bouncing. We've actually seen this before. I'm trying to remember what we were doing here. One of our missions from another planet brought us to Coruscant. And we had to drop down into this area where the Baboinger is. So this should look familiar to you. And once we get down here, there's a couple of boxes we're going to destroy. And it reveals a little bit of a trampoline that we can scroll around or move around. I don't know why. Why am I saying scroll so much today? I don't think I've said scroll the entire time we've played this game. But I've said it like 4 times today. I'll stricken from my vocabulary. It's gone. All right. But as promised, boxes removed. And let's see if I can nail this on my first try. Okay, let's see here. Both of those are invalid attempts. They don't count. Nope. Third time's not the charm here, because that doesn't count either. All right, we didn't even need to use the actual bounce. We just had to use the jetpack. All right, so I'm going to toggle over it. Bad idea, people. Bad idea. Any idea why that might have been a bad idea? Traditionally, you can switch to your other character, and the AI will catch up, and all of a sudden, your other character will just be mysteriously or magically right behind you. Not the case. Jango's going to hang out down there forever. We never see him again. That's the last time. No, I'm just kidding. We actually see him here in a second. But it does, I do believe I had to edit out the runaround, because, like, why would you guys want to see that? Now, this particular part right here, I'm not so proud of. I got a nice cheese for you guys. A real, pretty easy cheesy. But I did it wrong. Again, another old man Brian Brain situation here where the scout was too far behind. So what we want to do is we actually want to get a box, and there was one up here, and we want to slap it right down on the bricks or the studs behind us. You can see it right where BB-8 is. We need to put that box there. We're going to use the force to lift it back up, and then we can place it right there. What this does is gives us a little bit of a height advantage. We're sort of nom status right now, where we needed a phone book or something to stand on to be a little bit taller. And so we're going to go ahead and stand up here. If you don't know Nam, he's one of my really good friends that partakes in the streams and actually streams a lot with us. But anyways, we'll go ahead and use the force to lift up our protocol droid, or astromech in this case, to get him all the way up here. Now, it should be noted right behind me where that box was, there is an invisible wall. So you cannot get up to that upper ledge of where we had that box. You have to move him over to where the brick is. So save yourself a little bit of a hassle, because that was part of my problem. And all right, we do have a mouse droid with a stormtrooper helmet over here in the corner, but we're going to skip that for now. We'll be back at a later date on that challenge. What we do want to do is stand on this pressure-sensitive switch and then target that bullseye out across the way, and it should open up. And look at that, mile-high Deadeye. All right, I'll take it. We got another Kyber Brick in our arsenal. Next up, we got Grapple Safari. I don't know why I make an attempt to get this with Vader, who does not have a grappler. But you definitely want somebody who can grapple. You might be able to get this done if you come a different route than I took and drop straight down over to the left ones. But ultimately, just use a grappler. Use Jango or BB-8 or somebody. And you can actually skip a lot of the handhelds if you aim and get that grapple prompt to pop up. Now, you can't skip them all, but like, you know, you can see I just skipped that one. I think I skipped 2 right here. Yep, there's a couple I skipped. And then I think I skip another one. Yep. So you don't even have to hit them all, but you see what I'm saying, right? Now, this is kind of a funny angle here, too. I fell a bunch in the PS4 scouting run. I did find that second handle to be easier. I don't know what it is about the angle on that. And, hey, watch this. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to toggle over and leave my character down there. Oh, my goodness. I don't think I edit this one out, though. I think he actually stays there. I think I have to make a long run here in a minute, which is not a great idea, which happens to be the next name of our Kyber Brick here. But we're actually going to run around. It actually wants us to run all the way down and go up the stairs. But there's actually a grapple point right here, too. Hit the brakes, Brian. Hit the brakes, Brian. There it is. All right. So we'll go ahead and use that to go ahead and pull ourselves up, save a little bit of time. So there's a couple of places like this that you might be able to, you know, get up there. And, oh, yeah, so there's definitely an edit point here, too. Oh, my goodness. I don't think, like I said, I don't think Jango was ever going to return. Had I not have manually made him, he probably wouldn't have. All right, this next one's pretty easy. You just need to use the force to lift up a box and press 2 different red buttons. It's actually funny because there's 4 like circles up there, but only 2 of them are interactive. The other 2 just represent whether or not you've done it or, you know, use the power, hit the button, whatever you want to call it. So hit them both and collect that brick and be on your way. All right, next up, we've got the character token extravaganza? I don't know what we want to call it. In here, there are 5 characters that can actually be purchased. You do not need to unlock them anywhere else or do anything else. You just simply need to purchase them. However, I'm going to purchase the B1 Battle Droid, and as soon as I buy it, you'll notice I do not get the prompt for having this character. And that's because I already have it, right? So I guess I said that funny. I don't get the prompt for unlocking this character, and that is because I already have it. So B2 Super Battle Droid, though, on the other hand, who costs 15,000 studs, we have not unlocked him in the story or free play, so he will or should be a character that you guys don't have either. So in this room, there are 5 characters. As it turns out, if you've been following along, you probably have 3 of them already. BB9 is another one we got. I don't remember. We were fighting against Phasma, I feel, and I feel like it was that level and that situation that we ended up unlocking BB9. So again, we purchased BB9, so now we can use BB9, but we didn't just unlock them. The Droideka, on the other hand, though, as you can see here, is also unlocked. What? So Droideka, B1, and BB9 all were unlocked previously. RA7, though, 15,000 studs. This is the green version. I think we already have a raw 7, but we don't have green version of them, right? So maybe we did. I don't know. But regardless, he was the other unlocked. So 5 characters to purchase in here, and you likely had 3 of them, but purchase them anyways. It'll help our percentage go up. Before leaving the room, we actually have a Kyber Brick task in here, too. It's actually called Little Shop of Droids. Little Shop of Droids. This one's pretty simple, too. Really, what we need to do here is use the villain terminal on the right side of the old bars here. And we'll go ahead and step up with Vader, and we've got a left, a right, and a up. Now, yours is likely going to be different, but go ahead and solve the puzzle. It should open the door, and then we give the old Imperial Droid a purchasing here. I do believe we have to buy it, and then it, like, self-implodes. It, like, self-destructs. And because I was bad at marking the brick, I'll give you a quick peek on the map of where we is, even though you probably already knew. But another 5,000 studs. Although, like I already mentioned, he self-destructs. Must have been a Mission Impossible task or something. I don't know. Little Shop of Droids done did, though, and we are officially ready to bounce out of here. No more need in there. All right, next up, what do we got? We got ourselves another Kyber Brick. This one's actually right off to the left side of where we just left. Left of where we left. This one, again, wants us to use the net launcher to go ahead and get up there. But watch this. We can actually pull out. So now you could use BB-8, right? And he's got a grappler, but I don't think you can reach the grapple. But Django has the jetpack, so we can jump out there, jet towards it, and, of course, grapple with a quick button press. Now, you could probably use the Force and lift up a character up there as well. So there's all sorts of ways to get that on me Ed. On me Ed. That's what it was. All right, I get it now. I didn't get it before. It was on his head, right? It was on the statue on me Ed. All right, I talked about this one yesterday live on stream. I had a heck of a problem with this. I don't remember how much of this I edited out, but check this out. We were just upstairs, right? I ran down. And why is my character hanging out up there? So that's weird. So we'll go ahead and get him down here, right? Right? We should be good to go now. Except for, wait a minute, where's Django? He was literally just standing down here. Let's toggle over and find out where he's at. Let's toggle over and find out where he's... What? What are you doing up here? And I get back down here. Where's Vader? He was taken off again. So this was a highly problematic part for me, but it all works out in the end because I switched to R2, psych, 3PO, and we go ahead and lift him up. Do you like that misdirection there? You guys thought I was going to mess that up. Nope. Riding high. That's right. We riding high. All right, there are some boxes, too. If you're having troubles with that, you could certainly lift him up on a box or stack a couple of boxes up and jump up. There's lots of ways to get these. We just find that that cheese to be really easy. All right, moving right along. We got our next ship token here, and we're going to get it by completing Breaker Switch Breakdown. But he's got a little iPad here on the fritz, so we're going to go ahead and help him out. As it turns out, there is a giant red power bar that goes all the way around the top of this building. We're going to follow it to the back side, and once we get back there, we're actually going to find a grapple point. We can go ahead and yeet ourselves up, and once we get up there, in fact, there's actually a couple of spots that we can go ahead and melt down with some, well, we got the blaster out here, so melt some gold with your favorite bounty hunter. And it's going to open up a panel with 4 switches. Watch this. Don't get confused. Don't mess it up. Literally hit the left one. Literally hit the right one. I highly recommend not using a character with the Force here, as it will be easy to use the push Force and flip one of those switches. And once you get it out of whack, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if there is an easy way to fix it. But simply just push the left one and the right one. You know, I got really lucky with the guess on my scout, and I wrote that down so I could, you know, hopefully repeat that here, and it worked. So I'm assuming it's going to work for everybody else. Once the door is open, you're going to want to step up to him and talk to him. It's kind of misdirected there, as you think you're supposed to go inside the building, but you actually got to talk to him. He should kick down with the old ARC-170 Starfighter, or ARC-170 as we call it around here. All right, next up is a super simple silver task. In fact, there is a box inside this giant piece of art over here. I think that's what it is. And we'll go ahead and jump up on top of the railing, look down, and toss a quick thermal detonator on there. to collect our next Kyber Brick. This one's called Scant Silver. I'm not sure. I don't get the reference, so if you know something I don't, drop a comment down below, please. Let me know. Educate me. We'll go ahead and collect it before moving on. That's one of those ones that probably collects for you if you don't jump in there and grab it. All right, next up, we've got a pluggable or super pluggable. So there on your map, you should see a series of 8 sort of like little bullseyes, targets, if you will. 6 of them are all around that giant piece of art, and 2 of them are kind of scattered off to the side. So there's no particular order you need to swoop these in. I probably should have grabbed that one that I'm running by right now first and made my way all the way around and done a full loop, but I'm bad at directions. So my wife will tell you that I really am. I'm bad at directions, but 1 of 8 done did. Now, normally in these, like, 1 of 2, 1 of 5, whatever it is, I would give quick links for each one. These are so stupidly close together, and they actually show up on your map. I feel like you didn't need me to put the quick links for them. If that's something you guys would like to see, I, of course, could always add those buttons later, but I just feel like it's super simple. You run around. There's also another trick I can tell you. Now, you can see that they sort of glow. They have an aura around them, right? That's definitely something that happens. If you have upgraded your collectible detector all the way to the top, it'll actually flash and show you that there is a collectible inside there, too. So if you're having troubles and I haven't added the quick links and you're really needing some help, upgrade your collectible detector all the way, and it should flash where all of them are. Now, again, there's only 8 of them. 6 of them are in a big loop right there around that building or piece of art, and the other 2 are just off to the side here. And again, it's really hard to not see them because they show up on your map, and they also glow. It's pretty awesome. All right, last and final one is over here, which will wrap up Profitable Propaganda. Now, I thought in one of, and maybe I did, I feel like I accidentally shot one of those in an early go, and I had to restart my story stuff, because I think in between story, going from one level to the next, I actually shot one of those, I feel like. All right, next up, we've got a Korner Kyber. This one's kind of tucked in here, easily missed if you don't have it on your map, as sometimes they don't pop up right away if you don't have the rumor, or maybe you haven't been close enough on the map to activate it. And in this case, luckily I did, because it was probably going to be missed if not. All right, we got a door over here. We're actually going to go into Padme's apartment. And inside there is a brick, which is kind of confusing or hard to figure out. But I got a quick tip for you. You're actually going to dip right outside onto the balcony. Don't look down, as it's a long drop. We're going to run around the edge of the ledge here and pick up our NES controller, which is actually really a swipe card. We can use that inside, so go ahead and grapple back across and make your way over to the bouncing purple icon here, which should be right in front of the red door. Swipe the card, access granted, and Kyber Brick is officially ours. So Padme's pad is officially done dad. done dad? Well, whatever. You get what I'm saying. All right, did a little bit of home redecoration before we leave there. Sorry about that. All right, District Dangle is our next Kyber Brick, which should be just right around the corner here as well. And luckily for us, we're running right to it. I honestly didn't plan it this way, but I would have ran around this giant tower for 10 minutes looking for this, this rope here, or vine. And probably best suited for a Jedi character or scavenger, as there's lots of twirly poles and stuff. However, we cheese it with a grappler. So just look up and grapple to the top handle, and then move your way over to the handheld, which should allow you to get to this jump point, or the hippa to the hoppa, as we call it. And then, of course, just take your time around, try not to get shocked. And then, of course, you could always cheese and grapple up, too. Full fun disclosure here, I did mess that up. I fell like 4 times off this tower, but I found some really good animations to edit in, and if I wouldn't have said nothing, you probably wouldn't have known that I fell off that tower like 4 or 5 times. Seriously, I did. I'm not even kidding. I really struggled with that one, which is why I said that I would probably take forever to find that vine. All right, next up, we've got a character token. This one's called Taxi Unfair. I actually mentioned this earlier. It's a little homage to the old Sega Dreamcast classic, Crazy Taxi. And as we step up to Buddy here and talk to him, he basically tells us that his taxi has been stolen, and that we need to go try to track it down for him. And as it turns out, there is a bunch of people who have been, well, sort of taken advantage of, if you will, that had tried to get in the taxi, but got yeeted out along the way. So we've got a nice little path of disgruntled customers Simply just follow the old yellow blips on your compass. It sort of takes you into a circle or a hot spot, if you will. And then look for the old green comment balloons once you get into the hot zones. I'm going to take you right to all of them, though, so you don't have to search too hard. Definitely right in the middle here. And you can see they're all, like, knocked on their tuchus. None of them are standing up. They're all upset. They're like, what is happening? That guy totally... So we'll get the best of them here in a minute. And then there is a reference at the end. I do believe we get to catch it. I may have sped through the commentary, though. As you can see, I'm not wasting much time trying to figure things out. I know what I got to do, and I'm just trying to get it done did. We'll wrap around the corner. We should see the taxi floating there, and there's our icon. We can step up and have a quick conversation, and we actually get him to take the bait. We actually pretend to be a customer in need of service here. Look at that. We're going to actually pay $14,500. We're going to get ripped off is what we're going to do. Nice. That was a good deal. Now watch. He steps off, throws his old ninja smoke. Poof. Knocks me on my back, and the fight begins. Now, there's a bunch of henchmen that come in and try to distract you. Just like a lot of these boss battles, I definitely recommend focusing on the main person as much as possible. But also, you know, you can fend off the other guys too. But just notice that I'm literally only getting that meter depleted when I'm hitting the main taxi thief there. And look at that. I got him juggled in the back. All right. And he's got some friends. Here comes the cavalry. We'll go ahead and take these guys down too. Cha, 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 cha. Or pew, 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 depending on how you choose. And last but not least, Buddy comes in. All right, let's see. Let's see what he says. We'll talk to him. He says, taxi, you found it. It's all about the best return. Stolen taxi. Taxi unfair. And I guess, oh, here it is. Well, if you don't mind, I'm off to make some crazy money. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. So, and that's that crazy money, right? Let's go get some crazy money. Like there was all those. It's pretty cool. But we got Luminara. Unduli? Unduli? I don't know how to say it. Unknowledgeable. I don't know. Something. All right, so it seems like we've got it all wrapped up, but we're actually going to go to a secondary map here. And luckily for us, we're actually right by a taxi. What? We just solved that, so good to go. We're not going to get ripped off this time. This gets a little confusing, too, as it separates our whole area into multiple spots, but all the totals are the same. Most important note here is that we want to go to the Coruscant Senate building. That's the important thing. So the Senate building, we've arrived. We're actually just going to run right up and actually make our way to the right. In fact, it's over to the right-hand side. Now, this one bugged out like crazy on my PS4 Go. In fact, I got it completed, and it didn't give me the brick. So I had to leave the planet, come back, and I hoped it reset, and it did. Now, when I came back and did it the second time, what I had to do was I had to stand on each of the 4 switches, but if I stood off of it, it actually made it blue again. So I'm not sure why on the PS4 I had to have somebody standing on the switch at all times, where on the PS5 I literally just had to stand on the switch itself. So you can see I start to switch or start to put one half of a protocol droid on a button, and I put it on the other one, and I'm like, okay, so I got 2. But I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's bounced off, and it's not actually going red again. So I'm just like, let me try standing on 3 and see what happens. Okay, so it stays there. So really, you just need to step on the switches in the order intended. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But for some reason in the PS4 Go, it made me stand on all 4 of them at the same time. And if I stood off of it, it didn't count. So weird stuff. So hopefully you don't have that same weird scenario. Speaking of scenarios, though, we got a nice rumor giver over here. Let's go see what he has to offer. And then up top here, we've got a bunch of street lights. Oh, yeah, we're not going to mess with that. That's a Chewie. That's a Wookiee. We're not going to mess with no Wookiees right now. That's for another challenge. Again, we'll be back later, just like that mouse droid one. But up here on the top, we've got all these light posts. In fact, there are 13 of them total. We just need to take them all down. Again, no quick links needed for this, as they are right on top of each other. Simply take them all out and watch those numbers stack up. I'm using the push force, yeeting my saber, doing all sorts of things, and getting through these pretty quickly. 11, 12, and last but not least, 13. Turning to the dark side. That's right, we turned off all the lights. Who turned out the lights? So we're turning to the dark side. We'll stack up our protocol droid, get back in our comfortable clothes here, as we definitely like Django and a Force character as our primaries. I feel like we do pretty good in that scenario. And next up, we're actually going to step up inside the old Senate building here, as there is going to be a couple of... Actually, it's just a... looks like a ship token. Palpatine's portrait. Oh, that's right. And I messed this up, you guys. Okay. So first of all, I totally screwed this up in the sense that I could not find the final piece. So there is an edit here. I start off by stacking all of the available or easy to find pieces right in front of where they need to be. It's a good tactic. It's not bad. I'm not messing anything up yet. Ironically, I just ran by the piece I can't find, and I really struggled to find it, you guys. It actually required an edit. It was so bad. But so there are 4 pieces scattered throughout on the floor. The last one that I have not grabbed yet is literally right to my right, about 3 steps over, right next to a pole, sort of in the middle of the room. We're going to need to carve out the wall. And once we do that, we're going to need to place these 4 pieces into the appropriate spots. So we're just going to complete the puzzle. I slapped this guy in the wrong place on accidente. Whoops. It's kind of got funny feet there. All right, we'll slap that over far bottom left corner. All right, next up, we've got the top left corner. You can tell it's got Vader's helmet. And then next up, we've got, I believe it's like the cape and the hood for the far right side. Yep. So we'll go ahead and slap that there. And then, you know, insert the Jeopardy music. I couldn't find it. Luckily for you, though, I edited that out because it was literally like 90 seconds. And there goes the character walking around using the Force again. I'm not sure what has prompted that, but in the last couple of levels, I've seen that a lot. Now, we're going to go ahead and open this secret safe up and get that character token. Now, my mistake that I made in here wasn't just being bad at finding that piece. It's actually that character now has a character quest for us. So sadly, we're going to have to return to the Coruscant Senate building yet again because I missed a character quest. That's right. I should be turning around and going to grab it. But I didn't realize it till the very end, you guys. So my bad on that. So I guess get familiar with this area because we will be back. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and hop in the taxi and head on over to the Jedi Temple. Now, what's weird, if you notice, the Senate building shows that we have all the collectibles here, which is weird. I don't know. Like, this whole area is bad at counting, and it's really confusing because you have like 3 or 4 different stops, and like I already said, they all show the same totals, except for the Senate and the Jedi Temple. But so there's like the fountain. It's so confusing. I don't even want to get into it. But we're heading into the temple right now where there are a handful of bricks. First one we're going to start off with is called Jedi Find Tricks. Get it? Jedi Mind Tricks, Jedi Find Tricks. And it's the shell game. There's these giant shells. They're covering up. We're going to go ahead and walk up to Buddy, and he's going to try to take us for a spin. See what I did there? And now I actually did this on the PS4, wrote down the solution, and it was different than the PS5. So you guys are going to have to follow your own Kyber Brick shell game around. Now, fun fact for you, again, if you have upgraded your collectible detector all the way to the top, it'll actually show you where it is. So there's no guesswork whatsoever. You don't even have to pay attention and follow it around. But, you know, it's pretty easy to follow too. Just simply watch it reset. Your character gets out of the way for easy viewing purposes. I like how it does that. And then you just follow it, right? So, I mean, I didn't struggle ever. Like, I never not knew where it was. But, you know, it might be difficult for some out there. I don't want to, like, make it seem like it's the easiest task ever. And again, collectible detector for the win. If you're struggling, definitely turn that on. By now, you should have tons of studs. If you have not been following along in our playlist order, and let's say you just finished the story and now you're playing Coruscant, you're way ahead of yourself and likely going to have to return here quite a few times to unlock other things that you don't have access to, like maybe certain abilities or characters or who knows what's going on. There's also a lot of prerequisite unlocks for stuff. So like certain planets have unlocks for this planet, right? Which is why we didn't do this planet till now. We had to do those other ones first. So definitely recommend you follow along with our playlist order as it will help you with the most efficient route. We are finding ourselves in the last 4 or 5 levels here. There is sort of a catch-22 where we have to do a mission on one planet in order to unlock the rest of that planet. But in vice versa, on that other planet, it also has a mission that needs to be done on the other planet for the other. So it's like, we have to figure something out on that one. But next up, we've got the Trial of the Jedi. Now, I also messed up on this one, and there is an edit here, so just know that if you didn't do it on your first go, you're not alone. But it's pretty simple. There are 3 Jedis in here. They're going to turn around, and each of them has a cloud. We're going to use the Force to kind of see through that cloud and see what image they are displaying, and then we're going to jump on it in the middle here. So first for us was a lightsaber. Next up is a ship. And last but not least, it is the planet. So highly recommend trying to stay in the middle area and using the Force instead of running up to each one, because it just kills too much time if you got to move out of the middle and go up to them. Now, the edit has already happened. Well, I guess it happened right as I said that, but we'll go ahead and basically I jumped on the wrong thing, and I didn't mean to. I double jumped and it went too far. So next up we got a cup. So we had planet, cup, and lightsaber. And again, yours are likely going to be different. It's possible they may match up, but I'm going to guess that they won't. All right, and so let's see here. Next up, we've got ourselves 3 more. Pretty simple stuff here. We've got a cup, which we already had once. Planet, which we already had. So, yep. And last but not least, blaster. All right, so booyakasha. Should go ahead and puke out a brick. Boy, and speaking of bricks, we got 30 of them already, so we're getting closer. However, we do have a couple of character missions left, and as you guys probably remember, those ones are the ones that are the lengthy ones. It's not so much the Kyber bricks that take up the time of these videos. It's usually the character quests. It's usually the double whammies, the one that have a character token and a Kyber brick, which we're going to see here in a minute. All right, so this next one, I sort of apologize on because I'm going to botch some names and not know some stuffs. But there are 2 back-to-back tasks that require the Force and moving these statues around in here. The first one is called Secret of the Archives. And basically, she tells you a story. And if you don't know the history, it's really helpful. But essentially, what you need to do is sort of match up the good guy with the bad guy as the stories have been told. That's how I perceived it anyways. I may be explaining it terribly, and I apologize if I am, but you can see all the names, and I'm just skipping through it like crazy. And I'm going to try to do a pretty good job of at least showing you the final result here. I do make a mistake here and mixing these around, but what I did was I moved them all around until I got the solution on my PS4 Go. Then I took pictures of those and tried to match those in my PS5 Go. And so it's a little clunky in getting it done, but you want to start with Yoda on the first right socket. We're going to move old, was that Qui-Gon out of the way? And put in Mace. I believe that's correct. Again, I apologize for the names. And then we've got young Dooku. I don't know. We got Hairdo, we'll call him. I can't remember his name. So, like I said, I know you guys are going to be really upset about this one. But it is what it is, okay? So I didn't really want to put Dooku there. We want to put Dooku all the way on the far end, and I think we put Hairdo in the middle. I did not mean to knock him over. One of the bad things about the push force. Okay, so Dooku goes on the far left. I'm sorry. See what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit of a blunder here. But in the end, don't worry. We show you. We give you a nice little swoop through both sides to make sure that you get plenty of viewing space to get them in the right place. All right, and then we'll put Obi-Wan there, and then we've got Qui-Gon and 4. So, you know, maybe I should have used the names to the numbers versus first, second, and third. But here, okay, so you can see them all here. Let me flip around here. Boy, I'm not doing it I'm moving really fast on this. So you got Qui-Gon on the left, and then you got, was it Mace? And then Yoda. So that's actually technically on the right. It just depends on which way you're looking in the room. So now on the left, we got Dooku, we got Hairdo, and then we got Qui-Gon. No, Obi-Wan, right? Yeah, Obi-Wan. See, I told you. It's dark, too. My screen is really dark. I don't know if that's going to be the final product for you guys or not, but it's definitely dark. All right, round 2. We're going to go ahead and match these characters up. This one should be much easier. Simply just put the character in question on the panel in the back in the podium here. So we got Hairdo, and then we got Mace, and then we're going to switch Yoda and grab, I believe it's Dookie. Yep. All right, so we're good on that side. And then we got Yoda, and then we'll slap, let's see here, Qui-Gon. And then last but not least, it should be, wait, something's not right here. I got something wrong. So we got to switch Ben and Qui-Gon. Okay, yeah, I got those wrong. Booyakasha. All right. So match them up, and you should be good to go. So, all right. So, you know, every every series has one video that has at least one or two. I feel like this is that one. Hopefully we won't have any more of these wonkadoos, but Secret of the Archives 2 is done did. Now we've got a double whammy. We've got a character token and a Kyber Brick coming up right outside this door, actually. And it is quite of a lengthy task. Lots of off-plan. Oh, no, it's actually inside the door. I forgot. We got one in here first. She unlocks another one. All right, so this one is called Stolen Knowledge. That's right. We got to go flow around and get a bunch of, what do they call them? Holocrons. That's right. And in the end, we actually have to fly through space and collect them. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert, but lots of travel. So we have to go, like, you know, ask a few questions, see if anybody knows anything, and then basically one thing leads to another. We got to take off to another planet, and then we get there, we get a couple tips, and then we got to put, like, some pretty interesting clues together. And turns out we actually end up on Theta, and I think that's where it finishes. All right, so first tip says that way, so we'll go ahead and run that way. This one says, I think they're maybe just going this way. So basically just follow it out. And again, I'm not 100% sure if you need to talk to each one of these people as you progress, or if you could just skip them all. In some of the cases, it seems like you can skip them. Like, I could probably not talk to this person, but will it tell me that I need to go to the next place? I'm not sure. In this case, it tells me I need to hop on the taxi. And we're going to go to the Uskru district, which we have not been to for collecting. I probably said that wrong, too, but my bad. We'll get it right at one point or another, or I won't. We'll be okay. We'll all sleep. I promise. All right, this one seems deceiving. It wants us to go down the right side, and there's that gas hallway, but it's right there on the right side, sort of blending in. That green gas sort of blends in with the green comment balloon, so don't get lost there. We're going to swoop right on through it because we got a nice helmet on. I got some... Apparently, we got oxygen. I don't think I ever really knew that Django... Like, I didn't realize that was like a space helmet, right? I felt like it was just like a protective armor. But apparently, it's not. It's good to know. Good to know. All the way up top. I think I get fooled into running back to... Yeah, see, we got to go to Mos Espa, and I run all the way over to my ship. So you could pull up the galaxy map right now and save yourself an extra 20 seconds or so. And look at this. I'm like, wait a minute. Did it really just run me to my ship? Urgh. All right, we'll go ahead and pull up Mos Espa, which we have just recently been to. So it should be a familiar space for you. Boots on the ground, and we are out of here. All right, so we're still not even halfway done with this mission yet, which is crazy. But again, it is a double whammy. Often these Kyber Brick and character token missions have a lot of back and forth and planet hopping and whatever. But all right, make your way in, take the first left, and you should see our point of interest here, our little rumor giver, if you will. And now we're going to follow it back around the other way. Yep. And around the corner, kind of where we just came from, except for it's taking us back to our ship. So it gave us a tip that we need to go to Theta. So as promised, we're heading out to Theta. And we've been here before, too. Now, I want to point out that for whatever reason, on the PS4 version, for me anyways, there's sort of a glitch that indicates this area as a point of interest or a searching point. So this area on the PS4 for me glows orange, and there's a giant circle. And the reason for that is that there was a mission here that required us to put on an outfit. We had to put head, shoulders, knees, and toes on, right? We had to have a helmet, we had to have a shirt, and we had to have the pants. And they were all in that area. And then you needed to talk to somebody that would then allow us to use the shooting range or the shooting gallery. So, you know, if there is a blip there, it's a display glitch, ignore it. Move along. And if you're not getting it, just follow the waypoint marker just like we are, and you should be good to go. Eventually, we make our way all the way over to the next point of interest here, our rumor giver, and they tell us that there's a long ponytail around the corner over there. All right, so we're going to follow the waypoint marker yet again. Like I said, it's like one clue leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, that likely leads to another. All right, we are almost there, 21 meters away, and once we get there, we got to grapple up top. No, we got one more. That's right, we got one more tip. And this one tells us to go around over the corner, and that's when we get up on the rooftop. That's right. They even tell us, scaling up onto the rooftop, I seen a ponytail. All right. Would have been nice if they could have just, like, all shared this on, like, a message board or notification system or something that I could have got, because I could have saved me a bunch of time. Yeah, this was a little bit of a loopy-doopy here where Felt like it was taking me to the far right, but it was really just kind of sneaking in through that crack, which wasn't needed, as there was a giant opening and a much easier pathway just to the left of that building we went around. But eventually we get to this building. We got to figure out, where do we grapple? It's actually on the back side. There's a whole bunch of handhelds, and we can get all the way to the top. However, we need some twirly pullage. And I fail. Oh, there's a grapple icon. It should have popped up for me. I would have been pretty epic had I been able to do that. But we'll go ahead and spin to win all the way to the handhelds, all the way up top. Get our baboing on, maybe. No, that's not a bouncer. Inside this little building top here, we'll go ahead and step in and talk to Aurra. Aurra? She throws the old ninja smoke down and bails out. And I made a bad jump and had to take quite possibly the longest ladder ever. And, of course, the whole time I'm slowly going up this ladder, you can see Aurra's out of there. I tried to cut her off, but she's too smart for me. She went back the other way, and then when I cut her off that way, she goes back again. Now, I do recommend using a character with a blaster versus the Force or a saber, because saber just kind of goes wherever it wants. And not that the blaster bolts don't too, but... And also, you know, it works well to pick up and slam some stuff on them. But the blaster, I feel, is just going to be better suited for these chase missions. Yep, here we go. See, look at that. And I turn around and pow, one shot. All right, I guess she was a one-tap, but... All right, we go ahead and find out that now we have to head into space and collect those. And once we're up in space, we actually officially get thrown into a space battle. And it's trying to lure me into this long run back to my space pad here. But I'm not. I'm just going to pull up the galaxy map and go right into Naboo space. So the final mission is here. And I don't know if you could have come to Naboo space originally and got these, or if you had to talk to every person and unlock it. But when we arrive, we find ourselves in a space battle. We're going to go ahead and just fly right out of that. That's right. We're going to ignore it. And there should be 5 of these giant golden soikles. And you just need to fly through each one of them. Now, I still haven't figured out, too, if you have to fly through one for it to unlock the next one, or if all 5 of them are present to begin with. But it seems like only 2 are visible at a time. That's how it seems. But again, there might all be there. So 4 is down below. We're going to go ahead and swoop this one up. And then a little full disclosure here. I sort of get distracted. Any ideas what it might be that would distract me? It's a stud comet. That's right. So look, I'm looking all around, up and down, and I see no golden soikle. So I'm going to go ahead and take off. Now, my thinking behind this was, not only will I get paid, but I'll also be able to turn around and have a wider angle, a little bit of a distance on where I just was. So if it is right above me or right below me, I should have a better visual of where that final gold ring is for that holocron. And look at that. It's right there down below me. So we're going to get paid all the way to that golden circle. And I do believe we cross into the 7 billion. And if not, it's really stinking close. Yeah, we still got a 50 million or so. But we'll get there. Don't worry. And eventually we fly through, coast through, collect the final one, and ask if we want to return. Why, of course we do. And we are out of there. Of course, a little bit of an edit there to speed up that transition from space to this place. And I don't know how to say her name. Is it Jocasta? Jocasta Nu or Jocasta? Jocasta? That's a tough one. J's are always tough for me because depending on where you are, they are very different, right? Some J's are silent, some J's are I don't know. I'm bad at J's, I guess. All right, moving along, we've got some younglings out here just talking, and it doesn't seemingly show a Kyber Brick, but I promise... Okay, now it does. Now, there is one here, though. Takes a second for them to pop it up, and all we have to do here is destroy some boxes on the left and build up the debris into some dummies. That's right. And they'll go ahead and use the force on that to get going, and then on the right-hand side, we've got a grapple plug up on this little scaffolding. And luckily for us, we can go ahead and use somebody like Django from a distance. Go ahead and pop its top. And then we can jump up on there. Now, jetpack didn't quite work right away. Now, notice, too, I unlocked BB9 a little bit ago. And now it's automatically defaulted. So that's interesting. I guess when you purchase a certain type of character, it maybe unlocks that one as your primary? I'm not familiar with that. As you guys know, I usually don't purchase many characters until we're at the very end. It's one of the last things I do, unless we need that character or ability along the way. Then we buy them earlier. But like right now, we don't. We got everything we need, so we're not buying. We're saving our studdage to get that 10 billion trophy / achievement, depending on where you're playing. And once we get that, then we'll spend away. We won't worry about it as much. But you know how it is. Like you keep buying stuff all along the way, and then you get all your stuff, and then you're like, oh crap, I forgot to get that 10 billion. Now I got to go grind 10 billion. Now, probably won't take super long to grind out 10 billion, but I'd rather not have to grind anything. That's just me, I guess. All right, we got the Younglings done. Apparently their Jedi skills are terrible because he just dropped that. He couldn't even toss a brick to me, but moving along, we're going to go ahead and take on another double whammy. This one's called Tuskens and Dragons. I'm assuming that's supposed to be like a Dungeons and Dragons reference there. And we do go seek a giant dragon, so that's kind of cool. It's the Canyon Crate Dragon. And we got to actually head back over to somewhere we just were, actually. And in fact, there's we even got a Kyber Brick on a carcass of a crate dragon. So we're going to go right back to that spot after a series of tips from the locals. But we're going to head on over to Tatooine, the Jundland Wastes again. We were just at this place not long ago. And it's probably more recent for me than you guys, as our release schedule sort of scatters these out, where I'm usually working on a video about every other day, if not every day. So some of these definitely seem a little more recent for me than they might for you. But all right, we got a long journey to roll on here. In fact, we got BB9 to do it for us. I don't know why. Do the BBs seem a little faster on foot speed than other characters? I noticed that Rey, episode 9, seems faster. I can't tell if it's just her animation of how she moves or if she's literally cooking faster than most people move. I feel like Kirsten, one of our great mods, has mentioned that in the past too, that Rey was one of her favorites, and I feel like speed may have been one of the reasons. I'll have to ask her about that. Although I'm almost done, and it's been months since she's played the game. Hopefully she'll remember. All right, we got our first tip, second tip, and third tip. I think I take the long route. I think if you stay low and go left, I think you get there a little faster, but I don't think it's much of a difference. You can see the waypoint markers like, bro, you went the wrong way. But, okay, we're back on track. Now, last but not least, I think we have one more. Yep, we have one more astromech that gives us one last tip. And then we got to go use the Force on an innocent bystander here. And make them do a little dance. That's right, got to dance a jig. Tusken Raider dance off. We'll go ahead and get all the way up here. I felt like my other character was a Force character, and he is, but he's way back there. So we'll go ahead and switch to my secondary and pick any of them. It doesn't matter which one. You just need to use the mind tricks by pressing the icon indicated. For us, it's triangle. And then go ahead and select distract, which should bring in the dragon. And then from here, it's up to you on how you want to take him down. But I found the lightsaber to the feet to be the best way to defeat. I didn't really mean it that way, but I mean, I guess we are chopping his feet off, so we are defeating him. Oh, ho, ho, ho. See what I did there, guys? That's terrible, but also hilarious. Yeah, I just get up close and give him the old cha-cha-cha-cha, toss the saber when he's too far. So basically, I'm doing damage almost the whole time, even though it's only 25s here and 25s there. I do feel like the saber up close is good, though. You know, I did try the blaster in the PS4 Scouting Go, and I just didn't have any damage coming off at all. I don't know if it was like a weird PS4 glitch or what, but I figure the best way to take him down is to defeat him. All right, I'll stop. I know I've been saying that, but it's been one of those mornings, you know. I just have that little extra spice going, I guess. All right, I slept well, I guess is the best way to put it. We're definitely beyond the halfway point. In fact, we're in the final third, and I think I get a nice little rapid succession here. Yep, we do, because he's just standing here not doing nothing. I guess he's not really bothered by the old toenail trimming here, but eventually we depleted that meter, and he pukes out a brick after knocking our block off. Good Lord. And actually, we have to talk to Buddy, who runs up. Look at that. It's Yaddle. And he's like, yo. And you know what's worse about this is that Yaddle is here to see and witness it in person, which is good for him, but that means that we don't get to go right back to where we started this mission. So we have to fly back on our own dime. See, I feel like their footing the gas bill when we get to return. But I feel like right now when we're on foot, we're on our own. We got to pay our own gas. And I don't even know, like I haven't had to fill up once. So clearly there's some pretty good MPG, right? Ooh, 931. We're only going to have like 2 more, maybe not even a full 2 more areas before we actually flip that 1,000. And I do believe there is a trophy/achievement for hitting the 1,000 Kyber bricks. Now, there's also the one to complete everything in the galaxy, which will likely be our final task that we do, but... All right, we've officially landed back on the Federal District, Coruscant areas, and we've got a new character quest presenting itself here that was not here earlier. It's another one of those situations where we have completed some other tasks around, and it's actually unlocked new stuff for us. So lots of that has been happening behind the scenes, but we've done most of the hard legwork for you. And this is actually interesting, too, because we complete this task, and it actually takes us to another planet. So, again, we finish on another planet, so we're going to have to pay our own gas to get back. But it immediately triggers another quest. So this quest on Coruscant Federal District actually opens up a new quest over to where we're headed right now. Now, I got a little button happy there with the menus. I was trying to pull up my galaxy map. But basically, Nema Outpost, we have not covered yet. Right now, one of the requirements to unlock a mission on Nema Outpost was to complete the mission we're doing right now, Bounty Hunter Hunt. And once we get it done, it literally, so we find Bosk, we have nice words with Bosk, and then once we're done with this mission, Bosk actually has a mission. That mission is relevant to this area here on Nema Outpost, not to the Federal District of Coruscant. So you will have a choice to make whether or not you want to knock that quest out for Nema Outpost now, or if you're going to fly back to Coruscant Federal District like we are and take that mission on later when we return for Nema Outpost. Now, there's a little bit of a whoop-de-woo here as we get into town. You just look for the old shopkeeper who should be on kind of the far right side of the area. He gives us a nice tip saying there should be a key card lying around. Now, be careful as there are a bunch of super pluggables. You can see right there that blue like lantern or whatever that thing is. That is actually a collectible. There's a bunch of those scattered throughout. And we're going to go ahead and skip those for now, too, because they're not relevant to the Coruscant Federal District area that we're technically working on. So we've swiped the card that we found hiding behind, and now we're inside. And look at that. Aurra comes in, and I have some nice words, and I do believe that ends our quest. And we should end up with the Bosk. Psych, it's the Aurra Sing character token. But now Bosk has a mission for us. Look at that. He's got a mission, but it's not for us. It's for the other area. So we'll bounce out of here. I almost fooled me. It almost did. I won't lie. It almost got me. Next up, we got to fly back to the Federal District. So pull up your galaxy map. You can see there we got 3 Kyber bricks left and looks like 1 more character token. So we should be able to find one of the Kyber bricks right now, which I do believe leads us to the character token. And then I think the last 2 Kyber bricks, we actually have to purchase the rumors and go to, if I remember correctly. Like I said, it's been a few days, so we'll go to the Jedi Temple area, which is the upper secondary map, and we can go ahead and collect, or actually target that Kyber brick that we will now go collect. This one's pretty easy. It's actually just off to the side, but you just got to be in the right place at the right time. We're going there right now. So Jedi Temple has 1 brick left, and we are out of here going to get it. Boy, we're close to the home stretch here. Like I said, we only have this and 3 other missions after this. Of course, one of them's a character mission, so we got a couple extra minutes tagged on, but shouldn't be too much longer before we are done here. All right, so we've officially arrived at the Jedi Temple, and it's over to the far right side, so don't actually head up in there. We're going to go and drop off the ledge. There's a couple of safe grapple points there, and Daredevil drop should be yours. All right, next up, I do believe we're heading back over, but let's go ahead and see what this tells us. Now, there is a character token showing in the Jedi Temple lobby. It is a display glitch. There is not actually a character token in there. To be honest, I even ran in there and saw for myself that there was nothing going on. So, yeah, I edited that out, but Next up, we're going to go ahead and remember earlier I told you we had to return to the old Senate building because there was a mission in there. We got to go back there. And look at that. That's what I don't understand. The numbers are so messed up for this area. It's so confusing. Because you just saw there wasn't even a character token available for this. It didn't even it didn't show that there was even one. It didn't say 0 of 1. Didn't say 1 of 1. It didn't even show a character token, but clearly there's one in here. However, this is one of those ones that unlocks for completing other tasks. So I don't know if they meant to do it this way or not, but again, it's so confusing trying to use those taxi trackers because they're just not accurate or super confusing because they all lead to the same. I don't even know how to say it. All right, the Cahoons? Cahoons? I don't know how to say it. These remind me of Khan. I don't know. Obviously, this is Star Wars, and Khan is Star Trek. But, you know, there's those bugs in the Wrath of Khan that they put in the ears of some of the... remember those? And they lay eggs and stuff? These remind me of a little bit larger versions, or maybe what they grow up to be, right? I'm not loving these. There are a total of 20 of these scattered throughout, and I believe 5 different locations. I do believe there are 4 at each. Mathematically, that makes sense, but I don't remember if that's exactly how it breaks down. The first one is done though. We're going to make our way over to the taxi and hop in and make our way over to the next area, which should be indicated. It's the North Landing Pad. I don't really think it matters which order you knock these out as long as you get all 20 of them done. However, one of them does have a pretty obvious cinematic sequence, if you will, kind of a cutscene that shows up, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I haven't seen one of those in a while. I thought they were extinct. So there's like a moment that happens. But again, I don't think it matters which order you take these down in. And if you're having trouble finding them, you know, you just follow the waypoint marker into the general vicinity. There should be a giant glowing circle. You can see right now we're within it. And then you just look for, what I found was the easiest, was look for a health bar that's showing up that's taking damage. And that's our taxi driver, is it not? Poor guy, he's had a rough day. Got his taxi jacked, got it back for him, and now he's getting attacked. Phew, not fun. It's probably a Monday. Got a case of the Mondays. All right, we're moving along to the next one. Again, I don't think there's any specific route or you know, way to just take them all out. This one is up here around the corner. We should see that meter popping up any second now. Yep, see what I'm saying? Like once you get close, usually you can see them getting damaged by these guys. And again, another 4-piece here. Nice little Happy Meal. Would you like fries with that? No, I just want to get rid of these guys. All right, so we got 2 more spots to take on after I guess I don't even talk to Buddy. I'm like, you know what? I just saved your Tukus. I'm not even worried about what you got to say. Luckily for us, too, there are studs scattered throughout. Oh, I also cheese this. So be careful where you drop off because there's actually a nice way to plummet to your doom as there's not ground all over. So make sure you make a methodical jump if you're going to jump. Otherwise, just follow the waypoint marker down the stairs and around. It's just probably a few extra seconds. Kind of tried to cheese this here. I thought it might be in the shop, but no such luck. And we'll make our way out and around. We should see that health me. I do believe this is the one that has the little cutscene, if you will. And then it takes us back. I feel like we ran by this originally, but again, there's so much up and down and all around in this place. I do get lost from time to time. Here we go. Here's the cutscene. Pestered passerby. Oh, that's fascinating. You rarely see them outside of their native planet, Indumaudo, which I probably said wrong, though. Look at her. Oh, no, it's chasing me. Ah. All right, don't worry, ma'am. We'll say, ma'am, if you could stay out of the way. Ma'am, if you could stay out of the way, we'll help you. Help us help you. All right, so 16, 17. So wait a minute. That isn't. So that was weird. Why is there 17? So there was 5 there? Is that right? There was 5 there. So it must have been an extra one chasing her or something. That was weird, though, right? Because I'm pretty sure we had... last but not least, we're going to go up here, and actually this is going to be the final character token for us. I think once we take this out, it says, would you like to return? And why, yes, we would. Save us the hassle of running back and forth and taking another taxi and all that. And let's see here. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Yes, we'll return to Maz Amida. And I do believe once we actually talk, we get the character token for Maz Amida. Amida? Amida. Whatever. We got it. Cahoon Calamity. Did. All right, we got 2 more Kyber Bricks, peoples, and that is it for this one. So, home stretch, faux show. And like I said earlier, I do believe we got to pull up the old mission tab and purchase a couple of rumors and then have it lead us to the promised land, as we do not have them showing up on our map right now. So first one's called Korner Awning. This one is, let's see here, drop down from a height to get a little nearer. Yeah, I'm pretty legit. So yeah, this one's a nice little tucked away one. And then the last one is actually one that requires a saber. We got to do like a saber wall climb all the way over there. It's called like cutting across town, I think is what it is. Kind of creative, but all in all, pretty easy peasy from here on out. Now, next up, as far as the next level that we take on, according to my list here, it's going to be Jakku Nima Outpost. So I do believe that one is fully available to us. And then we got the Uskru district, which will be one of, well, I think that's the last one that's fully open. And then we've got Mos Eisley and Cloud City, which both exchange. Well, Mos Eisley has a task on Cloud City that needs to be done, and Cloud City has a task on Mos Eisley that needs to be done. And that just leaves Maz's Castle, which I do believe has tasks on both of those. Mos Eisley and Cloud City have requirements, I think, for the last one. So the way I think we're going to figure it out, as I'm struggling big time to get up on that grapple point up top, is and it's a really simple task, too. I just said it just a minute ago. It's so simple, guys. Put a couple boxes down and then stand on there with Django and then use his jetpack and a grapple. You should be good to go. But yeah, I think what we'll do for that overlap one is we'll probably do the task. We'll probably choose one of them, right? Go do the task on the other one and then just immediately leave and go back. And we'll probably start that other planet again with that one. So I probably said that really confusingly, but like planet A will have a requirement for planet B. So we'll go to planet B real quick, do that requirement, and then we'll have that at the beginning of planet A. But then we'll also have that at the beginning of planet B. So you'll probably get to see that task twice. But I think that's how we'll do it. And then other than that, I mean, listen, if we literally made it through all of the galaxy with only having one particular cross-up where you had to do this before you did that, I mean, yeah, we landed, got a password on a planet, and then took off somewhere else. Or there was a couple of things that we did. We had to activate a mission. We didn't have to do it. We just had to activate one in order to unlock. So there was a couple of things. But I mean, ultimately, we didn't have any mix-up. All of my videos have 100% of that area completed for that area, which is amazing. I didn't think it was going to be doable. And, you know, with the help of Tyler, Kirsten, and a little bit of the internet, we definitely got it all good. So appreciate all the love and help from those peoples and others too. I'm sure there's others that have provided some insight here and there. But all right, this last one, we were over here a couple of times. I don't know how I missed this. It just didn't pop up on my map, so my bad on that. Again, another zig when we should have zagged scenario. But now that we're officially here, we're going to switch to Vader. And we just need to use the lightsaber to cut across this giant wall. You can see it's still not even showing on my map where the brick is, but you get an idea of where we is. And the only tricky part about this is there is a timer that has electricity flowing in certain parts of the wall climb. Now, it doesn't knock you off immediately. It just does damage, and I think it takes like 4 or 5 zaps for you to really, like, be dead. But I wouldn't push it. I would definitely take your time, especially since this is the last one. Just wait it out, have patience, and then celebrate when we get that brick. That's right. So we got the first one done. We got to jump down and then reattach to another wall and make our way up. One more little set here, but that's it. That is it, and we are done. And then, you know, I mean, we've got 4 areas left after this. I mean, 4 planet areas. We definitely have some space stuff to do too, but we've got, okay, wait, I said that wrong. Not 4. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 left. 5 left, you guys. That's crazy. I am so excited, but at the same time, it's bittersweet because I don't know what we're really going to do. There's no other new Lego game announced. There's nothing to wait for. Like, we've got Lego Brick Tales. It's been officially out now for a couple days. We've got a guide being formatted for that, and once that's done, I'll probably do some videos, but that's a really short, easy game. It's not like the traditional Lego games. It's very mobile-ish. Like, I almost feel like it could have been a mobile game, or maybe it was intended originally to be a mobile. But regardless, it's still a fun game. There's still some collectibles. We're going to help with that. And then last but not least, we got Lego Indiana Jones 2. That's the only other Lego game we have not completed, so likely some of that in the future too. But for now, look at that, 38, 38, 1 of 1, 3 of 3, and 10 of 10. Done did. I won't lie, when I saw those 3 characters already accumulated at the beginning of this, I was a little worried that that was going to be problematic. But it turns out it was easy. You could just purchase them whether you had them or didn't. So, hey, check us out on social media. HaveAThumbsGaming.com is available for you too. But hey, guys, for me, that's going to do it for now. As always, until next time, see ya.